DiCaprio going on a 19-year-old. Like, bro, what do you talk about?
Yeah, what do you
talk about? Unless she's the most genius, brilliant, world-traveled, new one.
I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The what? All the boxes left over from the pizza. All the boxes, okay? Make sure you recycle the plastic like we talked about.
The internet has a short memory, but every now and then, something surfaces that makes everyone stop scrolling and pay attention. Right now, that something is a piece of footage that allegedly shows two of the biggest names in Hollywood in a situation that no one can quite explain. The names attached to this are Leonardo DiCaprio and Sean Combs, better known as Diddy. And the chaos that has erupted online is something that even the most seasoned social media observers are struggling to keep up with. This is not just another celebrity rumor. This feels different. It feels bigger, and it is spreading faster than anyone could have anticipated. The story begins with a leak. An anonymous source, reportedly from within the entertainment industry, posted a short clip on a private Telegram channel late last night. Within hours, that clip had been shared across Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Reddit, accumulating millions of views and triggering a wave of speculation that shows no signs of slowing down. The footage itself is grainy, shot in what appears to be a dimly lit room, but the figures in it are unmistakable to anyone familiar with the two men. One figure, tall and lean with a familiar gait, appears to be Leonardo DiCaprio. The other, broader and more imposing, is clearly Diddy. What they are doing in the footage is the subject of intense debate. Some say they are simply having a heated conversation. Others claim it is something far more compromising. But the one thing everyone agrees on is that this footage has the potential to change the public perception of both men forever. The initial reaction on social media was pure pandemonium. The hashtags Diddy footage and Leo scandal began trending within minutes of the clip going viral. Fans of both celebrities immediately rushed to their defense, calling the footage a deepfake or a carefully orchestrated hit job designed to damage their reputations. Detractors, however, seized on the footage as proof of what they have long suspected about the dark underbelly of the entertainment industry. The comment sections of major news outlets and gossip blogs have become battlegrounds, with people on both sides presenting their evidence and tearing apart the arguments of their opponents. It is a classic example of how the internet works in 2026. A single piece of unverified content can ignite a firestorm that consumes everything in its path, leaving the truth buried somewhere beneath the noise. But let us take a step back and examine what we actually know. The footage is approximately 45 seconds long. It has no audio, which only adds to the mystery and allows for endless interpretation. The lighting is poor, making it difficult to discern fine details. Yet the body language of the two men is what has captured the imagination of the internet. DiCaprio appears to be gesturing emphatically, his body turned away from the camera, while Diddy stands with his arms crossed, his expression unreadable. At one point, DiCaprio steps closer, and Diddy takes a step back, a moment that has been replayed and analyzed in slow motion by thousands of users. Some see it as a confrontation. Others see it as a negotiation. A few have even suggested it is a moment of reconciliation between two old friends. But without context, without audio, and without any official statement, it is all pure speculation. And speculation is the currency of the internet. The timing of this leak is also raising eyebrows. Both DiCaprio and Diddy are at pivotal moments in their careers. DiCaprio has a highly anticipated film set to premiere at the Venice Film Festival next month, a project that many believe could earn him another Academy Award nomination. Diddy, on the other hand, has been in the process of launching a new music venture, a comeback album that has been in the works for over 2 years. Any negative publicity at this juncture could have serious financial and professional repercussions. This has led some commentators to suggest that the leak may not be a random act of mischief, but a calculated move by a rival or a disgruntled former associate. In the cutthroat world of Hollywood, reputation is everything, and a well-timed leak can destroy years of careful image building in a matter of hours. Whether this is an attempt to derail DiCaprio's Oscar campaign or to undermine Diddy's musical resurgence is unclear. but the possibility cannot be dismissed. The role of artificial intelligence in this controversy cannot be overstated. In the past year, deepfake technology has advanced to the point where it is nearly impossible for the average person to distinguish between a genuine video and a synthetic one. Several digital forensics experts have already weighed in on the DiCaprio and Diddy footage, and their opinions are divided. Some claim that the lighting inconsistencies and the unnatural movement of certain pixels indicate that the video has been manipulated. Others argue that the footage is too raw and too imperfect to be a deepfake, pointing out that most AI-generated videos are too clean and too polished. This debate has only fueled the fire, as each new expert opinion provides fresh ammunition for both sides of the argument. The general public is left in a state of confusion, unsure of what to believe, and increasingly distrustful of the media they consume. This is the dangerous new reality of the digital age, where seeing is no longer believing, and every piece of content must be viewed with a critical eye. Leonardo DiCaprio has been a global superstar for over 3 decades. He has navigated the treacherous waters of fame with remarkable skill, maintaining a relatively scandal-free image while enjoying one of the most successful acting careers in history. From his early days on the television show Growing Pains to his iconic role in Titanic and his Oscar-winning performance in The Revenant, DiCaprio has been a consistent presence at the top of the Hollywood A-list. He is known for his dedication to environmental activism, his carefully curated choice of film roles, and his notoriously private personal life. This is precisely why this footage is so shocking to his fans. DiCaprio has always been a step ahead of the tabloids, rarely giving them anything to work with. The idea that a compromising video of him could exist and circulate so widely is almost incomprehensible to those who have followed his career. It shatters the carefully constructed narrative of a man who is in complete control of his public persona. Sean Combs, on the other hand, is no stranger to controversy. Over the course of his career, he has been embroiled in numerous legal battles, public feuds, and media scandals. From the infamous nightclub shooting in the late 1990s to his highly publicized breakup with Jennifer Lopez, Diddy has weathered more storms than most celebrities could even imagine. He has reinvented himself multiple times, transitioning from a record executive to a rapper to a fashion mogul to a media personality. Each time he has been knocked down, he has gotten back up, often stronger and more successful than before. But this current situation is different. The footage, whatever it shows, has tapped into a new level of online venom. The conspiracy theories surrounding Diddy have grown increasingly dark in recent years, fueled by a series of interviews and documentaries that have painted a complex and often troubling picture of his business dealings. This footage is being used by his detractors as the smoking gun they have been waiting for, evidence that their darkest suspicions were correct all along. The mainstream media has been slow to cover this story, which is itself telling. Major outlets like CNN, the BBC, and the New York Times have been cautious, citing the unverified nature of the footage and the lack of official confirmation. But the silence from traditional media has only amplified the noise on social media. Without authoritative voices to guide the narrative, the story has been shaped by influencers, bloggers, and anonymous posters, each with their own agenda. This is a pattern we have seen many times before, from the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic to the various political scandals of the past decade. When the mainstream media hesitates, the vacuum is filled by speculation, misinformation, and outright fabrication. The story becomes not about what is true, but about what people want to be true. And what people want to be true, in this case, is something that confirms their existing biases about wealth, power, and fame. The impact on the families of both men must also be considered. Neither DiCaprio nor Diddy has made any public statement, but those close to them have reportedly been in crisis mode. DiCaprio's representatives have been working around the clock to track down the source of the leak and to prepare a legal response. Diddy's team has been similarly active, issuing cease and desist letters to several websites that have reposted the footage. The personal toll on the two men and their loved ones is likely immense. Imagine waking up one morning to find a snippet of your life, taken out of context, and presented to the world for judgment. Imagine the anxiety of not knowing who leaked it or what their motivations are. Imagine the helplessness of watching a narrative unfold that you have no control over. This is the human cost of viral fame, a cost that is often overlooked in the rush to consume and comment on the latest internet sensation. The business implications are also significant. Both DiCaprio and Diddy have numerous endorsement deals and business partnerships. DiCaprio is the face of several luxury brands, including a major Swiss watchmaker and a sustainable clothing line. Diddy has his own lucrative deals in the spirits industry and the fashion sector. These deals are contingent on a certain level of public goodwill. If the footage is perceived negatively by the public, these brands may decide to distance themselves from the celebrities, at least temporarily. The potential financial losses could run into the millions of dollars. This is the reason why celebrity crisis management firms exist. They are paid handsomely to protect the reputations of their clients, and right now, they are earning their keep. The strategies they employ are varied, from issuing carefully worded statements to planting positive stories in the press, to launching aggressive legal campaigns. But in the age of social media, where information spreads instantly and without filter, traditional damage control methods are often insufficient. The genie is out of the bottle, and there is no putting it back. The psychological dimension of this story is equally fascinating. Why are we so drawn to the scandals of the rich and famous? Why do we derive pleasure from watching the mighty fall? Psychologists have long argued that celebrity gossip serves a social function. It allows us to bond with others over shared judgments. It reinforces our own moral codes by identifying and punishing transgressions. And it provides a form of escapism, a distraction from the mundane realities of our own lives. The DiCaprio and Diddy footage is a perfect storm for this psychological phenomenon. It involves two larger-than-life figures. It is shrouded in mystery, and it threatens to expose a hidden truth. We are not just passive consumers of this story. We are active participants, shaping it with every comment, every like, and every share. We are the jury, the judge, and the executioner, all from the comfort of our own screens. The legal avenues available to both men are complex. Defamation laws are notoriously difficult to navigate in the digital age. To successfully sue for defamation, a public figure must prove that the statement in question was false and that it was made with actual malice, meaning the publisher knew it was false or acted with reckless disregard for the truth. Proving malice is a high bar, especially when the content originated from an anonymous source on a private platform. Criminal charges are even less likely. While leaking private footage could be a violation of privacy laws, the identity of the leaker must be established first. This is a process that could take months or even years, involving subpoenas, digital forensics, and international legal cooperation. In the meantime, the damage to the reputations of DiCaprio and Diddy will continue to accumulate. The law is a slow-moving machine, but the court of public opinion has no such constraints. The role of the platforms themselves cannot be ignored. Twitter, now known as X, has been criticized for allowing the footage to spread unchecked. The platform's content moderation policies are notoriously inconsistent. Some videos are removed for violating community guidelines, while others are allowed to remain, depending on the context and the number of complaints. Instagram and TikTok have been similarly inconsistent, with some accounts having their posts removed and others left untouched. The platforms defend their actions by citing the complexity of moderating content at scale. With billions of posts per day, it is impossible for human moderators to review every single piece of content. Algorithms are used to flag potentially problematic material, but these algorithms are far from perfect. They often miss the subtleties of context, leading to false positives and false negatives. The result is a system that is easily manipulated by bad actors and that often works to the detriment of those who are unfairly targeted. The longer this story continues to develop, the more it reveals about the state of our culture. We live in an age of mistrust. We mistrust the media, we mistrust the government, we mistrust the celebrities we once idolized, and we mistrust each other. This pervasive mistrust creates an environment where a single piece of unverified content can become a belief system. People do not need proof anymore. They just need a narrative that resonates with them. The DiCaprio and Diddy footage provides such a narrative for many. It fits into a larger story about the corruption of the elite, the abuse of power, and the hidden truths that are kept from the masses. Whether this narrative is grounded in reality is almost irrelevant. The emotional truth of the story is what matters, and that emotional truth is powerful enough to sway public opinion and to shape the course of people's lives. One of the most troubling aspects of this situation is the way it exposes the fragility of a reputation. Both DiCaprio and Diddy spent decades building their careers and their images. They made countless appearances, gave hundreds of interviews, and carefully managed their public personas to cultivate specific narratives. In a matter of hours, all of that work has been called into question. The footage may eventually be proven to be fake, but the damage will linger. There will always be a shadow of doubt, a lingering question mark, that people will attach to their names. This is the cruel reality of the digital era. A reputation is no longer something you build over a lifetime. It is something that can be destroyed in an instant, by a single anonymous post, and there is often very little you can do to rebuild it. The scales of justice have been replaced by the algorithm, and the algorithm is fickle, unforgiving, and remarkably easy to manipulate. There is a lesson in all of this for the rest of us. The story of Leonardo DiCaprio and Diddy is not just a story about two famous people. It is a story about the world we live in. It is a warning about the dangers of unchecked speculation, the power of anonymous sources, and the speed with which misinformation can spread. It is a reminder that we should be skeptical of what we see online, that we should demand evidence before we form our judgments, and that we should resist the urge to participate in the public shaming of others. The internet has given us many wonderful things. It has connected us across borders, given us access to knowledge, and allowed us to share our experiences with the world. But it has also given us the tools to destroy each other, often without meaning to, often without even realizing we are doing it. We must use these tools with caution, with empathy, and with a deep appreciation for the consequences of our actions. As we wait for official statements from DiCaprio and Diddy, the speculation will continue to rage. New theories will emerge. Old theories will be debunked. The footage will be analyzed and reanalyzed, frame by frame, pixel by pixel. The comment sections will fill with hot takes, passionate defenses, and scathing critiques. The story will evolve, as all stories do, taking on new shapes and new meanings as it passes through the filter of the public imagination. And at the end of it all, we may never know the full truth. Some questions are destined to remain unanswered. Some mysteries are never solved. The universe seems to have a preference for ambiguity, and this story is a perfect example of that cosmic principle. It is the ambiguity that makes it so compelling, and it is the ambiguity that will keep us talking about it long after the footage has been forgotten. If you have made it this far, and you are interested in more deep dives into the stories that are shaping our world, please consider subscribing to this channel. We release new videos every single day, covering the most important and intriguing topics from the worlds of entertainment, technology, and culture. We do not just report the news, we analyze it, we break it down, we look behind the curtain, and we show you the mechanisms that are driving the conversation. Whether it is a celebrity scandal, a scientific breakthrough, or a political controversy, we are here to help you make sense of it all. Your support means the world to us, and it allows us to continue doing the work that we love. So please, take a moment to click that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. That way, you will never miss a single one of our videos. We have got some exciting content coming your way, and we want you to be a part of our community. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the very next one.